Hello everybody. Today we're going to be putting on the crash guards on my 2022 Indian Challenger. So as you can kind of see, I've already put the TLC crash guards onto one side. You can see over here the front and the passenger crash guards. And on this side, we just have the stock. So you get a little bit of a comparison between what the TLC looks like and the stock crash guards look like for the Challenger. So I definitely like the look of the TLC a little bit better. So first thing you gotta do is pull off this panel. It's pretty easy, you just kind of reach behind, give it some firm pressure, and then it'll just pop right out. Dealer recommended. Put that in the saddlebag so you don't accidentally knock it over. And it is recommended to take off the saddlebag. So I've already loosened these bolts so they'll be easier to take off. You will also need to disconnect a plug for each side. So for the left-hand side, just this little guy, just like that. And for the right-hand side, you're just gonna disconnect this guy right here. So don't forget that you will need to disconnect those before you just start yanking out your saddlebag, because you definitely don't want to mess up the cables. Okay, and then that's the saddlebag. Now the reason why we want to take off the saddlebag is we'll take off this bolt here, and this is going to reveal two screws. It's really hard to get the second screw in with the saddlebag there, and you also just don't want to risk damaging that. Yep, so pop that off, and so you see here, there's the two. The last bolt we'll need to take off is this one right here. So for any work down here, I recommend get a towel, cover the exhaust. You do not want to mess up your exhaust. So now we can mount on the passenger crash guard. And what I will do is I will just put in a few of the screws just to hold it in place, so that way we can more easily get the Loctite on. TLC does send you extra screws, so that's nice of them. You can use the same stock screws as well. You will need to use at least one of the screws they send you, as you might remember, each of these coverings only had one screw. So just throw in some Loctite. And then we'll finish tightening down the last screw on the bottom. Now I don't know what the torque specifications are, so we'll do the good old good and tight. All right, that's the back done. And then reverse all the steps to get everything else back on. All right, so for these, you got a bolt up here, which you gotta take out, and there's one underneath it, same size. This is where you need to be careful. When I ordered this was before the Challengers were really out, so I'm not sure if TLC was aware of this change, but the screw that they give you for the bottom is too long. Do not use this screw because it will go into whatever is down there. So you will actually penetrate something that you're not supposed to. So do not use the screw that they give you. Use the stock screws. Now, one of the screws you will have to use for the top. So this is from the other side. So these two screws are exactly the same. So I'm using this as an example, right? So this is the one I was going to try and use for the other side, but I'm using this for two reasons. One, you can see how much longer it is. So they want you to use this one on the bottom. Again, do not use this. Now, what you will need to use that they send you is the shorter version that has the hex on the inside. So you can see, there you can use your tool to screw this in. You will need to use this one for the top. This will not fit in this top socket with the TLC crash guard. If that made no sense, don't worry about it. Let me show you. Just wanted to give everybody that warning before we jumped into this. So you need 15, size 15 hex. So what I found that works pretty well is actually to go out under the fairing. And then this gives you a little bit more room to work with versus trying to do it over here and, you know, whack into the tag. Turn the handlebar, give you a little bit more room as well. There you go. To help get in there. Hold it up. We can reuse the stock bolts for the bottom. Again, Loctite. Good amount in there. Okay. Good and tight. All right. So that is the TLC crash guard install. All we gotta do is put the bags back on, reconnect everything, and then we'll be done. So with that, hope that was helpful. I'm sweating. It is hot in here. I'm tired. I get the bags on and call it a day. As always, everybody, be brave, do good, take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.